Hi, I'm Bran, and I love Lifetime movies.
I'm Patrick Serrano, and I'm a Lifetime movie expert.
I'm Dan, and I despise Lifetime movies, and this is the Deck the
Hallmark
Lifetime Encore podcast.
Yeah. Something like that.
Bran, back from sickness.
Aw,
Fully
maybe
healthy. Fully healthy.
But the fog hasn't fully lifted. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome to
man.
after a month off.
It's been too long.
Back and better than ever. Like, I don't know what makes
Yeah.
it better than ever,
Yeah.
but it is.
We are.
Deck the Lifetime with Patrick. Welcome back.
I know. It's been a crazy month. I've missed you guys.
The people have been clamoring. They've been, yes, on the Facebook group, Bramble Jam Plus, they're like, when is the next Deck the Lifetime Uncorked? Why hasn't it happened yet? They're upset.
They love it. They
They
love
do.
it. They love the Patrick.
High demand. You know, I mean, that's because we bring the commentary on Lifetime movies, which
We
is
do.
which
bring
are
the heat.
outrageous. They're outrageous.
And you watch all of them.
I watch all of these. No, I do not.
That's why Dan loves this one. He doesn't have to watch it.
Oh, this is the easiest prep that I do ever. It's like, we're doing this. Great. Yeah,
Now-
show up 2 minutes ahead.
You picked a movie every month, and you picked Drunk, Driving, and 17. Why'd
Correct.
you make this selection?
Well, this is a big return for the 17 series. Lifetime has a lot of 17 movies. You might recall Zombie at 17,
Of course.
Keep it going.
cheerleader at 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's
daughter
no
at
connection
17,
genre-wise.
mother at
It's
17.
just they have to be 17
They
years
have to
old.
be 17.
They must be 17, and it is something at 17. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, because once legal gets involved, they can be tried as an adult.
Mhm.
So it's like they're still children, but they're
So they can murder people and stuff and be a zombie even.
yeah.
There literally was a zombie Lifetime movie at 17.
It was not called Zombie at 17.
Yes,
Stop it.
Yes, it was. And
That's
she-
the-
You were not doing a bit there? You're
no,
serious?
that's real. That's real.
Zombie
I
at
never
17.
do bits, guys. I
Oh,
always
stop
tell the
it.
truth.
Oh, no. No one has a drier sense of humor than Patrick Serrano. Don't let him fool you.
Zombie.
He'll say things with just complete no expression and it'll be a joke.
Oh, there
But
it
I
is.
just saw producer Aaron is showing us the picture and it looks like they put a lot of time into that.
Yeah. Oh,
That looks like Patrick did a clip art so he
put
could
it
get
on the
this
internet
bit
really fast.
going and we wouldn't catch it is what that looks like.
Yep. Aaron and I have worked on this ahead of time.
You sure have. Patrick, are any of these
Is the movie called Drunk Driving in 17?
yes, drunk, driving, and 17.
Yep.
At least they got the Oxford comma in there.
They love it.
I don't know why there's a comma in between drunk and driving.
Mm-mm.
To be honest with you, because literally the whole movie is about drunk driving
Yes.
without the comma.
No comment needed.
No comma needed, but they did it, and here we are. Patrick, are
Well, then you
any?
could get rid of the other comma and it would just be Drunk Driving in 17.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would make too much sense.
Are any of the people in this movie Lifetime staples?
No, they're all newbies.
Okay, interesting. The mom struck me as someone who I would have expected to see on Lifetime a good bit. She was like a good like like I'm a mom type
Yes.
of person. You know what? So
Michelle is like, I think she's in like those like procedural shows on CBS or something like that. So it's her time. She's finally
her
seasoned
name's
enough.
Michelle.
Her name's Michelle.
Wow, that's a choice.
You
Was it
know,
a choice?
not Leah Michelle, not Michelle Williams, but
This is
Michelle.
Double the Michelle, double the fun. Let's dive into it. Tell us what we need to know before you and I explain this movie to Dano.
Okay, well, this movie is called Drunk, Driving, and 17, and it stars Michelle, as we talked about, Savannah Lee Smith, and David Shea. I didn't write down the writers or directors for this one because they don't want to take ownership of that, but this is inspired by true events.
What's the difference when they say that? When it's based on or inspired by?
One of them is telling a story The other is taking a story and telling their own story that's like it. Inspired by means they saw the story and they were like, I could write something like that, but with different names.
So like a drunk driving teen.
Yes, exactly.
One of those stories.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Pick your poison.
Like you read, every day it feels like you read a story about a 17-year-old that's a zombie,
Yes.
Like that's what that would be, the zombie at 17.
Yeah.
Yes. Inspired by true events.
That's right.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly
there you go. But based on a true story, that's where you're like, oh, this
really happened. Yeah.
This is real. Like when Ben Savage kidnapped that girl and had, put her in a shed.
Exactly. That is based on whatever. What did I just say? Whatever. Based on a true story. Inspired is very loose. Okay, so let's jump into the movie, shall we?
We shall.
The movie starts off at a high school basketball game, as you do. We meet two key families. So there's Martha, who has a son, Dan, who's playing in the basketball game, and her husband, Tim. And they're just there, like, supporting their son, and they're like, and he wins, and he's great. And he has a girlfriend, and his girlfriend's name is Kim, kind of like Kim Kardashian. And
kind of like that, yeah.
Like in the fact that they're both named Kim.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she is being raised by her single mother, Robin, who's a nurse and who's just doing her best. But she's also there supporting Dan, the basketball boy.
And Kim and Dan really like each other. This is the real deal, Dan.
They really like each other.
This is not just some sort of
fakes.
This is fakes. I think at one point they say they've been dating for 2 years.
Oh wow, 2 years in high school.
They have plans for the future, which we'll get into. So yeah, I mean, it's going to last.
Definitely.
I mean, this is the like, think of famous teens who stay together, like Danny and Sandy, and who else met when they were teenagers? Brooke Shields and Andre Agassi, maybe.
They didn't stay together though, did they?
Well, no, but they tried.
My wife and I met as teens, and we're still together, so that should count. And my name's Dan. So
I was still technically a teen when I met my wife.
What does that mean?
I was 19.
Okay.
I'm waiting to meet my husband, and I'm only 17.
Who's Danny and Shandy?
Danny and Sandy from Greece. I don't know. Those are the only teenagers I could think of.
Oh, Danny. Got it. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could you keep up for one day in your life?
Sorry, that's on me.
So the teens go to a teen party, and they're at this girl, Lisa. Lisa is probably me of the movie. She loves social media. She has cool parents who let people drink at the house and like have a bonfire. And why am I doing air quotes? I don't know, but that's just what we're doing.
You're doing it for
bonfire in air quotes.
You're doing it for the people on Philo.
On Philo TV. That's right. You would not know. You'd think it was a real bonfire. This is a wink, wink bonfire.
But her parents, to tell you how cool they are, Dan, they're the type of parents that don't just provide beer, but for the basketball team,
yeah,
you can go get some the hard stuff in the garage.
So wow, man, these parents have thought of everything.
Because this basketball team's doing really well. They're in the playoffs.
They're going to playoffs. You can't just go to playoffs on beer.
No, you need the whiskey.
You need the hard stuff.
You need
They are celebrating. They
are celebrating.
They're drinking moonshine. Okay.
And Dan, is it Dan?
Dan, yeah, Dan is the protagonist male.
Is it Dan? Dan, you're Dan. Dan says something that you're like, why would he say something like this? He says, I wish my parents would let me throw a party like this. And like, that's a weird thing to say. Well, more on that to come.
Yes.
Nobody's going to drink and drive though, right?
No.
Okay, good.
They are
going to drink and they are going to drive.
Right. Well,
but they're not going to drunk drive.
Okay. No. Good. Just look
at the title.
They're all like these. They're really setting up the cool parent, like not cool parent thing, like kind of like Amy Poehler in Mean Girls, where she's like, I'm a cool mom. You can drink these mocktails and whatever. So they're setting that up. They're also setting up like everyone's going to college. So there's a best friend, Kim's best friend, Nikki, who's going to NYU. Kim and Dan are gonna go to, I think, Stanford.
Yeah, they're going to go to
And-
Stanford together.
Yeah, they're
Although
waiting.
neither of them up until this point have gotten into Stanford.
But that's all right. That's a foregone conclusion. Anybody gets into
They're
Stanford,
going to get into Stanford.
you just gotta have a
Well,
pulse.
because he's a great basketball player and she's really, really smart.
Yeah, man,
Mhm.
So they're both trying to get
Great.
And she doesn't really drink. She doesn't like beer. She makes a point at this party to be like, "I'm not drinking. I'm the designated driver." Like we're seeing some teen responsibility here,
She's super
which is
responsible.
great. She's like really on top of things. And because her mom is a nurse, like she's gone at night, so Kim's basically raising herself pretty much.
Yeah.
she's responsible.
She's super
Mhm.
responsible.
Did you guys? Your parents weren't the cool parents. They didn't let the party happen. My parents would have never.
No.
Mm,
And
no
I
way.
only went to one high school party.
And you were
when
disappointed.
I was disappointed in the kids that were drinking. So like clearly like I wasn't gonna have the parties.
Patrick,
But is this a normal thing where parents supply alcohol for underage kids? Is that a
No.
thing?
Not in my town.
Okay.
But I know of towns like in West Virginia that do that.
Why do you know about that?
My best friends from West Virginia, and I've been to a couple of her parties where I was
I
like,
know
I can't
of
believe-
towns.
I can't
know of
believe
towns.
this is happening in a house, and the parents are here. Yeah,
There's always that
Um,
one parent that is like, well, if my kids are going to drink, I want them to do it in the comfort of their own home. Like they
But here's the thing: is like
justify that like it's like, well, I'm gonna keep an eye on them here. You know,
I can almost
Mhm,
like if
mhm.
it's just you and your kids, like if that's the choice you want to make, I'm just saying
yeah,
that
uh-huh.
it's different to
That's
me when
right.
it's just that
Like,
versus
I'm gonna
invite your entire grade over to our
Yeah.
house. I'll get the kegs.
yes.
Let's party it up.
Unless you're in West Virginia where all bets are off.
All bets are off.
Yeah.
But in this movie, it is very much that the parents are on a regular basis throwing parties for their kids, except for Dan's.
But
parents.
your
Except for
parents,
dance.
Patrick, would not have
no.
done this.
When I had parties, we would play like Mario Party and like eat like challah bread. So those were crazy days.
Yeah.
Ritz crackers, you know.
out of control.
Ain't no holla back bread.
There would be bonfires. It'd be
Yeah,
crazy.
bonfires. No, yeah, it's
I'm
very
sorry,
chill.
guys.
I mean, my parents were like, you know, they go to bed at like 9 p.m. even back then, so they were chilling. Okay,
Straight
so Dan gets into Stanford on a partial athletic scholarship.
They
with-
go freaking nuts.
They do.
about
The
this
parents are
partial
freaking out.
scholarship. He's like, he answers the phone from Stanford. The Stanford coach calls him, and he's like, "Yeah, okay, right, okay." And then he does this number where he puts his hand in front of the phone and goes, "Partial scholarship."
Yeah,
And his parents go, "Frick yeah,
Man,
it's a partial scholarship."
could not commit to a full basketball scholarship.
I don't understand that. Why? This is a movie where you could do literally
whatever you
anything.
wanted.
yeah.
Poor Dan can't get a full scholarship, but
can't
he's
get
still
a
gonna
ride.
go.
He's still gonna go, and
Yeah.
you know what? Tim, the dad, is like, "Hey, you know, I think this deserves a keg party." And Martha, the mom, Michelle, she's like, "No, it doesn't. I'm not comfortable with that. I do not like this." And he kind of is like, "Too bad." Like the dad's like, "Too bad. I want to do it." And she reluctantly goes along with it. She's like, "Okay, if everyone who comes to the party sleeps over, we'll like rent a van to drive people around if they need to leave, and you know we'll just keep it small and like a group of friends, like just a group
And
of friends."
to be clear here, Tim is way too eager to have this high school party in his house.
Yep.
Martha's kind of like, I don't know if this is the best idea.
Tim's all in.
Tim is like, this is no big deal.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing it.
Our
Like,
son got a partial scholarship.
You got a party. You got to celebrate. They're doing great, going to the finals. So Tim's cool.
He's the Amy Poehler character. Like he's a cool dad. Okay, you kids keep me young.
Sure
That
do.
type of vibe.
Sure do.
So it's the night of the party. You know, there's Kim like doesn't get into Stanford at this point. Like she gets
waitlisted.
Yeah.
Oh, probably
right-
for that athlete to get a partial scholarship. Unbelievable.
Right before the party, and you know she's like very smart and everything, and her mom is like, you know, don't worry about it, like you're going places. Like Dan, I don't trust him, he doesn't seem like a good guy. Like she's not really a fan. She's like, he's not going to be around forever, so
But but
Don't be
she's
upset.
like, Dan and I have this whole plan. We're gonna go to Stanford together. So she, when she tells Dan what's going on, she's like, it's okay though, because I'm still gonna go to live by Stanford. I'll work for a year and then I'll reapply.
So
and I'll
she's
get
really
in.
smart, doesn't get into Stanford, and decides to take a year off and work.
She's
can get
in
into
love
Stanford.
with Dan.
Okay, all right.
Dan.
Who does love Dan? I mean, come on.
You said it.
There you go. So, like, Kim is, in a vulnerable place. Let's say the party is happening. The party gets way out of hand because Lisa, the social media maven, who I very much identified with, she invites everybody on social media. She's posting stories. So all these randos come up, or what do they call them? Randies, I think.
Randy's?
Yeah.
Like out
like
in the grass
Randy
with
Taylor.
Randy?
Yes.
They called them Randies, which I thought was hilarious. That must be Gen Z for random people. And then Kim catches Dan at the party. The parents go upstairs to their room,
Yeah.
and the party is bumping downstairs. And Kim catches Dan making out with some girl in a closet, and she's like, "What the heck is going on?" He's like,
Can I pause you right there?
Yes.
I have brought some audio.
Oh my.
Okay.
You brought audio?
I know everybody.
What in the world?
I brought some audio because I am watching this movie, and it comes to this makeout sesh, and I could not believe how loud this kiss was. Last time we did this, I talked about the belt. I didn't bring the audio, and I felt like I made a mistake. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna
didn't Patrick have the audio?
No, we played it for you afterwards.
Afterwards, okay. I didn't hear it afterwards. Okay.
We'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back
Quick
with
break.
the audio.
I
You
love
see,
it. Great.
that's a
good.
pro move.
That's
That's
a
a
tease.
Take the Lifetime Uncorked after this. Welcome back. Before the break, you heard me with the dynamite tease.
How proud are you, Patrick, that someone else brought an audio clip in?
This never happened before in my 6-7 years of podcasting, so I'm so excited.
This is the loudest kissing I've ever heard.
Boy. No.
I'll play it one more time for you with the bat.
Please do not.
It's kind of on beat makeout.
It is.
But if you're not watching on 5 TV, you're missing out. Patrick's raising the roof. He's raising the roof to this. That was a tough listen.
I'm gonna remix that. Play it again. I'm gonna do a
No,
little. I'm gonna rap over it. Drunk driving at 17. Am I nice or am I mean?
Yeah.
Better keep and keep it clean. Make out in the closet. Jelly bean.
That was going one direction and then went another.
I like that.
Go, Patrick. Go, Patrick. Go, Patrick.
The loudest kiss in the history of film.
Man, that was uncomfortable to listen
couldn't
to
believe
3 times.
I couldn't believe it. What if I told you that clip was only 7 seconds long?
No way. No
Wow.
way.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. But yeah, they are making out, and Kim is very upset about this. And he, instead of like explaining like, oh, I'm sorry, like I love you, he's like, we should break up. We should break up immediately. I don't love you. And I like this new girl. So Kim runs out. It
happened very fast.
It did. It was, I mean,
so
I'm
just
on
to give
Kim's side here.
Yes, absolutely. Just to give us a slight bit of backstory, this isn't a Randy that he's making out with.
No,
he had one conversation.
We cannot make Randy a thing. It has to be random.
They made it a thing.
We're not saying Randy. I don't care. I don't care what they said, Brand.
It's like changing a character.
Randy's a person's name.
It's R-A-N-D-I-E-S.
What if I just started saying we just met some Brandon out there?
No. It's different. It's R-A-N-D-I-E-S.
You can't just say some Randy singular. You can't do it.
Randy's.
Out in the grass.
This is somebody who he had one conversation with after basketball practice. So really, what was he supposed to do?
What was he supposed to do?
He had a conversation with the girl. So clearly that means I'm going to make out with you.
Loud kissing. Producer Aaron is about to quit.
Oh no.
She can't.
His hands were tied in that situation. But then he just
His mouth was already mic'd up. He had to
Yeah.
like
he was
move forward
already
with it.
he was already set for that. But he just breaks up so fast and then just leaves her in the bathroom crying.
Totally.
Dan is the worst.
Dan is the worst.
The worst.
Dan is the worst. But you know what? That's Dan.
That's Dan for you.
If you've
how it
met
goes.
one Dan, you've met them all.
Man,
I know. We should have changed the name.
we should have.
like,
Well,
Dawn
we
or
can't.
something.
We can't change
No, we
names. We
do.
can't change Randy's.
Dan isn't some
All right,
rando
You're right. You're
out
right.
there.
You're right.
Our
So
hands are
Kim
tied.
starts in the next sequence. It's like a 5-minute sequence. It's Kim getting all the after school special things piled on one after the other to her. So she goes to the keg. She starts chugging beers, and this guy is like happy to fill her up with beer. And she literally is like chugging more, chugging more, chugging more.
And she's in physical pain while she's drinking this beer. Like,
Yes, she
clearly
hates
not
it.
enjoying herself.
And I went to the 13th party school in the nation, and I never did that. I mean,
The
I never did
13th party school in the nation.
Playboy
With-
magazine.
Were they proud of being the 13th? Like at some point you stop bragging, right? 13th?
13th. Ooh, why would you not brag about that? I mean, we're on the list.
You just say top 25. I feel like.
Playboy magazine.
Playboy
Dan.
magazine's top 25 party schools. What was it? What school's ahead of whatever school that was you went to?
I don't remember. I can't read.
Yeah.
I went to the 13th party school in the nation.
So
Someone
you
read it
never went over
me.
to the keg and just started going ham, just like one after another.
No, that would be poor etiquette.
Yeah.
Because other people are there too, and
That's right.
unless you have the king cup and it's your house, then you can do whatever you want.
You got the king cup.
The King Cup.
Brand, I gotta be. We watched Teen Wolf this morning, Patrick,
Fun.
for our series. Take it to the tape, and they get a keg in Teen Wolf. If you remember, Brand doesn't know anything about a keg. He didn't know that you
Wow.
could just get a keg and take it home with you. He
Yeah.
didn't know that it wasn't tapped before you brought it home. He didn't know anything.
Wow.
And then when I knew basic information, he's like, "Oh, so you know all this stuff about kegs, huh?" Like I was just some weird dude for
You're-
knowing that.
Your mom's
No,
gonna be so disappointed.
I know how to tap a keg, and like I think that's what we do next time we throw a keg party.
Yes.
Next time I'm in
Oh
town.
man, kegger. Kegger
But
with
you
Patrick.
typically don't go from I don't drink beer to just tossing the keg back, right?
Hammering
Like
him.
that's usually not how
Ask
this
AC
goes.
Slater.
You go
That's
to the
exactly
jungle
right.
juice, and then the keg.
There are so many better beverages more enjoyable beverages to drink.
the
than-
jungle
than
juice, as Patrick
The
said.
jungle juice is
Yeah.
exactly right.
Jungle juice. It's for the girls and the gays at the party.
Yeah.
It is.
I will say this: I've never had any jungle juice before.
I can still have some though, right?
Yeah, Brand would be all about some jungle.
I
juice.
can't.
You can, but
Okay.
but you don't want it. It's very strong. It's very.
Is it
strong.
really?
It is like straight up Everclear, like Bacardi 151 in there. and
Oh
then
my gosh!
They just cover it up with like Kool-Aid, so you don't know that you're drinking like straight alcohol.
Man, I've had Bacardi 151 before. It was not a pleasant experience.
No, it's not, and that was
No.
that would be our pregame. So like, guys, I got-
13th party school in the nation, you say? 13th.
hooty hoo. Yeah. But no,
Hooty
for real.
hoo.
So whenever there's partying in movies, I'm always like, but this one, I'm like, okay, girl, like you go off. She chugs all the beer. Kim then goes, like, isn't feeling well, obviously. And her friend's like, what are you doing? You don't even drink. And she-
Very disappointed. in
yeah,
me.
she's like, you're such an idiot. And Kim's like, I don't know. I'm just really upset. And all this bad stuff happened to me. And the friend's like, not sympathetic at all. She's like, get out of my face. And then Kim goes upstairs to like cool off. And some guy follows her.
the
and then-
keg guy, the guy that was filling
the
her
keg guy,
cup.
yeah.
That guy.
You remember him?
Yep. And he tries to sexually assault her, of course, because this is our after school special.
Yeah.
Piling on, she grabs a bat and like beats him up and is like, get away from me.
I will say, thank God that bat was by
The
Mhm.
bed.
that bed.
Hey, sports, I don't know. I never questioned anything with sports, so I'm just like, that's where you keep your baseball bat, by the bed. But she does get him off, and like I was very worried at that part. But then she's so drunk, she tries to go downstairs. She's trying to call her mom. She's trying to call Nikki, her friend, and
Now Nikki
Mhm.
is annoyed, but she's also worried for her friend. So she calls her boyfriend, who is working a shift at the pizza parlor.
When we
Yeah.
say she tries to call, is she not successful in calling?
No one answers.
No one
No,
answers.
no
Okay.
one answers, and she
Got it.
also keeps like pressing the wrong buttons. Like she's like
Classic.
672. You know,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Nikki calls her boyfriend, Jared. Is
Works
it
at the
Jared?
pizza place.
Pizza Jared. And Pizza Jared's like, okay, my shift's off in 15 minutes. I'll come and pick you guys up. But I've got bad news, Jared, because Kim isn't going to be there in 15 minutes.
Oh no.
Because she is drunk driving
and 17.
that's right. She grabs some keys. Oh, at the beginning of the party, the parents were trying to be responsible. They took everyone's keys and put it in a basket. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the 70s, that was called a key party,
about
and
to
it
say,
meant something totally different. Okay.
Different.
We won't get into that. That wasn't my generation, but let me tell you.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
13th party school in the nation.
That's right.
Every night's a key party. Again, I don't know what that is. And so I am sorry. I am sorry for what I said. So all the keys are in a basket somewhere. So you might
Key
be
party.
wondering,
Yeah.
how'd she get keys? Well, old Timmy boy upstairs didn't put their keys away, and they're just hanging by the front door.
Yeah, they are.
So she takes a pair of the keys that are on the wall by the front door.
She takes two of them.
There was
A set of keys.
a
A
set,
house
yeah, okay.
key and a car key.
a house key. Yes,
Gotcha.
and she does this, finds the car, and gets in it.
Yeah, and it's Michelle's car.
Sure is.
Kim doesn't really know how to drive the car. She's crying hysterically. She's going away.
She's
then
going
She's
away.
going away.
Well, she doesn't have a plan. She's just going away.
She's
And
just
then
going away.
Nikki calls and she's like, Joey's gonna come pick you up, and don't worry, like we're gonna be fine. And she's like starts swerving. Kim starts swerving, and she's like, I gotta go. She goes to like hang up the phone. She looks up. There's head-on lights. Car crash, and then it's like, where would my baby be?
Nailed it.
Yes. No, actually it doesn't. But and hey, we're making light of drunk driving, but drunk driving is not funny. Okay, don't do it. If you're listening to this podcast and drunk driving, pull over your car. Pull it over.
If you go out in a date in your daddy's car, for instance,
Yes.
and you haven't gotten very far,
Yeah.
you pull over. Just go ahead and pull over. Don't go any farther.
Exactly. But she does get in an accident, and she's taken to the hospital. The other person in the car is injured severely, and then we learn, well, Robin's mom, who works at the hospital, she's the nurse, and she's like, my baby. And then she sees the other person, and she's like, oh no, I know that person. That person is Joey, the boyfriend, the pizza boyfriend.
Pizza Jared is what I call them.
Pizza
Jared.
Joey.
Pizza Jared, Pizza Joey. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's that guy who was coming to pick her up.
Pizza Joey. Oh,
It's
that's who he hit. She hit.
She hit Pizza Joey.
Wow, she hit Pizza Jared.
Yeah, she did.
All of
Whatever his name is, he wasn't a very sympathetic character.
All the pizza boys have been struck.
So Martha doesn't know any of this has happened. Like she kicks everyone out of the party because it's getting too loud, and she's like, we're never doing that again, Tim. And he's like, okay. And then they go to bed.
They do an interesting thing here where they try to, first of all, they are taken back by how many Randys there are at the party.
Oh,
Randos.
yeah.
And then they
Michelle is like, what are these Randys in my house?
I kid you not. Everyone in this movie says Randys.
That's the
It's
dumbest
not
thing.
something we're making up.
We're not. I don't care. We're gonna stamp this out right now. No one is a Randy
can try.
unless their name is Randy.
Yes, I agree.
Anywho, they try to keep everybody to stay the night or something, and everybody just kind of runs away. And but there are some people that they keep, but they think
It's a great scene. It's a great scene. They're like,
it is.
hey, no, you're gonna sleep over. I have a sleeping bag.
It was very frantic. Very frantic. But ultimately they get a lot of people to stay, and they're just kind of like, boy, that could have been really bad. Little do they know
It was bad.
what happened right on the up street.
Exactly.
Right happened up the street.
On the up street.
Up the street. So Robin is like telling Kim what happens in the hospital. She's like, I'm very disappointed in you, and like, but like, I'm glad you're okay, and we'll see if Joey Jared Pizza is going to be fine. Um, but there's like uh, video evidence of her chugging the beer at the party, so like, it's not looking good for Kim.
Stop
And
it.
This is the video evidence.
yeah, that's the video evidence.
I got to be honest. We've done a lot here, and I hate to stop everyone, but I've just been informed that Michelle is Michael Michelle.
Oh God, I can never.
You have got to be
differentiate.
kidding me right now. Between the two of you, you should be both of you should be ashamed of yourself. Michael Michelle, not Michelle. And you know what's sad is I just went along with this. I was just like, yeah, must be Michelle. Didn't question either of you guys a bit.
Oh my gosh.
So her name's Michael?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't have the
I
comments
can
on.
see how you
I didn't
got
have
there.
the comments on. I should have seen that as well. You guys. They're keeping us grounded, keeping us humble.
Yeah, just trying to keep you literate.
Right. It's hard. 13th party school. Let's not forget.
13th party.
We love
elimination.
Michelle.
Okay,
Big
so
fans.
Michelle.
Michelle's a better name than Michael.
It is.
Just
If
gonna
you're
say
that close to double name, make it double name.
Yes.
Michael and Michelle are basically the same name.
I'm never trusting you. I'm just going to look up every name that you guys say from now on.
Fair.
Oh, okay, that's fair. So there is we learn from the police. The police start popping in, and they're questioning Michael, Michelle, and Tim, and we learn that parents. There's a new law in this town where parents are liable for giving kids underage alcohol.
That's new.
That's a new law in this town.
God, you better move to West Virginia.
I know. I was going to say, do you know if that law's made its way to West Virginia?
I don't know. I'll have to go check out a high school party.
Oh,
No, undercover like Josie Grossi. It's not weird,
Josie Grossi?
That's from Never Been Kissed, right?
Yes. Don't do it. Don't do it, Bram.
I've never seen it.
Come on, man.
Oh my God. Okay, we'll have a watch party.
Yeah, we will with our keg.
Yeah. So
don't invite any Randys.
No. Kim goes to jail for a night to like sleep it off. And she gets like a lawyer. And now we're into the law part of this Law and Order episode. That's 2 hours.
Kim's lawyer is hilarious.
Okay.
He's hilarious.
Yes.
In that I don't buy him as a lawyer one bit.
Oh, no.
He looks like me. But he walks into, he has a beard, he's got curly hair, he's got like his shirt unbuttoned a little bit, which confused me because I don't think he should have. But he's over there just being like, here's what we got to do. And he's playing it very seriously, but I don't know why he did some of the things he did wardrobe wise.
Yeah, I wrote he's a schmuck, like
he's a schmuck.
He really is. And his advice to her is like, you got to up your appearance. Like, you're a very smart person, but you need to go volunteer at like Mothers Against Drunk Driving or something just to like get some good PR. And so she does that. And the woman at Mothers Against Drunk Driving is like, I saw the news story about you. I know what you're doing. You cannot volunteer here.
You know, all the mothers that are against drunk driving, they're talking about you right now.
Yes.
Literally, we're talking about you.
Not talking about some randos out there. Talking about you.
No.
How about practice?
So Kim doesn't really have anyone to turn to. Like, she's a social pariah at school. Her friends want nothing to do with her. Nikki, her best friend, is like, you like basically almost paralyzed my boyfriend. Joey Jared Pizza Man, and I'm very upset with you. We'll never be friends again. Kim almost commits suicide with some pills, which I was like, oh, it's getting dark.
Hey, were those pills square?
Yeah, I think they were mint.
Some square.
Yeah, they look like like mint.
Yeah.
I don't know of any like pills that
This
are
was
square.
clearly filmed in an alternate universe. So I'm just saying.
Mints are wild.
Yes. But basically Kim goes to AA. She like stands up. She's like, hi, my name's Kim. I'm not an alcoholic, but I am a drunk driver. and she gets
This is by the way
Is she like a
because
tight 5 as an intro?
because Farmer Brown lawyer told this is one of the things she said that she should do to help her image is go to AA, and she's like, I don't know why I'm doing this, basically. But the person who runs the AA, she's like, hey, let's meet up. Like, I know you don't have a drinking problem, but neither do half the people in this room. So let's just meet up, basically.
Yeah, and that basically becomes her sponsor and the person who kind of talks Kim out of, the dark thoughts she's having. And it's actually a good influence on her life. Everyone should have a sponsor of some kind or like whatever. So, I recommend going to AA and just saying you're not an alcoholic and just getting a sponsor for fun.
Just a fun sponsor.
Yeah, couldn't hurt.
I'm Brand's reading sponsor.
Yeah.
Yes.
And sometimes he
Thank
just
you.
messes up. He doesn't call me. And other times he does call me and I help him through it.
Yes.
Yes.
But you do have to admit you have a problem, which I have.
Yeah.
I also think it's clear.
So,
Preview episode next week.
yes.
Buckle up, everyone.
Martha and Tim get a 90-day sentence that they can serve concurrently so they can take care of the kids.
I didn't know that was a thing. Is that a thing?
Oh yeah, I've had friends who have served like weekends.
What?
What do you mean if you serve
Weekend? You serve weekend jail. You just go to the jail on
What?
weekend. Yeah.
What kind of friends do you have?
Not good ones.
Are these West Virginia friends?
Well, this one was from regular Virginia, but yeah.
Regular.
Regular.
Virginia.
Yeah. So they split it. They did dad did 90 days.
Yeah.
And mom was home, and then mom went and dad was home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So with some time apart, Michelle is like, I don't think I want to be with you because you made me have this party, and like you are like kind of lame and a loser, and
Because he hasn't really taken any responsibility
No.
for being really into having this high school party. And to make matters worse, Pizza John's parents are suing him, a civil suit, for what Michelle says is an astronomical amount of money.
We don't know how much.
We don't know. It's astronomical, Dan.
A lot.
Michael.
And
Michael
she
Michelle.
and she's talking to Tim, and she's like, this is gonna ruin us. We're gonna be just like everybody else, which I thought was an amazing sentence. Like, clearly they have a lot of money. They're not gonna have a lot of money anymore, and they're just gonna be like everybody else.
Be like everybody else.
Which I do appreciate her saying that. But she basically is like, hey, Tim, if we don't go ahead and pay them the civil suit money, if we don't settle, I'm leaving you. Because she's like, you know what? We did something wrong. We should
pay the piper.
We should pay Pizza John's parents.
Pizza Jared John.
Because us going to jail isn't really going to help Pizza John.
No.
But giving him an astronomical amount of money will.
Yeah. Well, and she even talks to the Pizza John, Jared, Joey's mom. That we keep adding names to this band, but Pizza. And he the mom is like, I will never be your friend. I appreciate you talking to me and apologizing.
She does say probably not.
Yeah,
we
probably
will
not.
probably not ever be friends again.
And the money is not even going to make me feel better because of like nothing will. Like that's not justice to this mother. She wishes that her friend wouldn't have made this dumb mistake and had the party because it's so obviously that's not a responsible thing to do,
Yes. And Pizza John's mom and Michelle were friends.
God, we have said so many wrong names in that sentence.
And at the beginning, like when Michelle and Tim were talking about having the party, she asked Pizza John's mom, hey, do you think this is a wise decision? And Pizza John's mom said, no, I do not.
Mm-hmm.
So she knew that she was
knew.
considering doing an underage drinking party, and they still went through it. And now Pizza John's in a bed.
John Joe Jared Pizza, man. I saw them live, and they were
They're
pretty
great.
phenomenal.
They were great.
Really good.
So Tim does mull this over in jail, as one does in jail, and he returns and is like, "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have forced you to have the party. I love you," and that's enough for Michelle, because she's like, I gotta go to jail now and think about this, but I love you too. So they're happy, and that's moving on with the parents.
What we don't get closure on though?
What?
Dan hates his mom.
Yeah, Dan.
Dan is very mad at his mom because he doesn't think he thinks his mom is just like blaming Tim for everything. And when Tim comes back and is like, "Hey, I've decided I will do literally anything that you want me to in order to stay together, and so we will pay the astronomical amount of money." Dan is outside their door, just like looking at his mom, like,
this Martha.
And that's the last time we ever see the two of them together.
The character of Dan does not get a redemption arc.
He does not. Well, a slight one. Let's take a quick break and we'll come back and we'll.
How much more could there be?
We're close.
We're close. We're close. We're close. We're close. So it's time for Kim's court case.
Yes. Just like the real Kim K when she goes to court.
Mm-hmm.
Just like
the real Kim K.
And she's about to walk in and Dan comes up in a truly egregious button-up shirt. Let me show this to you, Dan.
How can a button-up shirt be that egregious?
Oh,
yeah.
The text I was receiving, from Bran as he watched this movie, were all about the button-ups.
He was very into himself. This is him earlier in the movie where he looks at himself in a mirror in his button-up shirt and is just like, yeah, I got it.
That's a normal button-up shirt.
I got it. I know, but he really liked himself some button-up.
Yeah,
shirts.
yeah.
So button-up Dan goes up to Kim and is like, "Hey, does he apologize? Does he ever actually apologize?"
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no redemption there. He's just like, "Hey, good luck in there."
He basically just gives an explanation. He's like, "Hey, I'll give you a quick relationship update between me and the girl. Me and
me making out.
Maybe you remember this.
Stop it."
Needless to say,
So you remember that?
did not work out.
We're still together, kind of.
That doesn't sound like a passionate kiss to me.
No. So he does show up. I don't think he apologizes. But you know who does? Kind of. She doesn't apologize, but they do make up. Is Nikki, best friend Nikki?
Yeah.
Pizza Jared's girlfriend.
Pizza John Jared.
Yeah.
They show up to support her, and they're like, "Hey, we love you, and we want the judge to know that we support you, and like,
awesome.
We think that you are really sincere when you say that you're sorry."
Yeah. And they're letting go of their anger towards her, which is a very healthy thing to do. Like, get mad and then chill out. Don't hold on to that anger.
I want to say this. There is a scene earlier in the movie where Nikki comes up to her and says, "Hey, Pizza Jared wants to see you," and she's like, "Really?" So she goes.
This guy 3 names: John, Joey, and Jared. And
she goes over to Pizza Joey's house.
Doesn't matter.
And Pizza Joey says, "I forgive you," and it's a really. I thought it was actually a really powerful scene, and I teared up a little bit.
No,
I did. Forgiveness gets me every time.
Yeah.
What?
Forgiveness.
Was it a powerful scene, Patrick?
I mean, no.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So Kim gets 1 year in jail and 5 years probation. The judge appreciates her testimony, or her not victim statement, but her apology, whatever it's called. And then we just flash to 8 months later. Kim is released. She hugs her mom, and then she sets out on her mission to, live her life to better everyone and make up for what she did for Joey Pizza Jared. And
her and
now we threw pizza in the middle there instead of at the end or the beginning.
Her and
Joey Pizza Jared.
Her and Michelle go on some sort of Mothers Against Drunk Driving tour. They're going into schools and giving really passionate speeches and giving you a lot of statistics about drunk driving, which were actually really good stats to include. I felt informed, and that's that. Yeah.
Well, I have to read the thing so people know.
Please.
I mean,
please.
are interesting statistics. And also, didn't y'all have to do Mothers Against Drunk Driving where you do the fake car accident at your school?
No.
Oh, we had to do that in high school where I got to be a doctor on the scene and be tending to the bloody teens on the front of the school, in front of the school. They're in the car wreck.
Is there a script that you had to follow, or they just were you go do this?
Yeah, basically I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. You know, like that.
I'm sure the Mothers Against Drunk Driving loved
They
you.
loved Patrick Serrano's take on the doctor.
Yes, I think Patrick's
arriving
trying
at
to
the
make this
scene.
whole thing about him.
Doctor shows up in a white coat. Oh my God.
But yeah, no, that was a thing where we had like a car wreck in the front of the school, and it was to like raise awareness so people think a drunk driving accident happened at school. Anyways, here are our stats. Okay, kids get alcohol more from their parents than anyone else, which we know to be true. Anybody who's played Hey Mister, we know that doesn't work. Next statistic.
Do you get that reference?
I do not get that reference. I don't get
Sometimes
that
you leave me high and dry. What do you mean?
Hey Mister?
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
Where you hang out outside of a 7-Eleven and you say, "Hey Mister, can you buy me a bottle of apple pucker, please?"
Did you do this?
The specificness of it might imply that I have. But I plead the fifth.
The weekends in West Virginia speak for themselves, Dan.
How many? If I got stopped and somebody asked me to buy him a bottle of apple pucker, I would probably do it just sheerly for the story of someone saying, "Can you buy me a bottle of apple puckers?" Of
Hey.
all things,
It's delicious. Tastes like a Jolly Rancher. All right, next statistic: don't drink, underage people.
that's
Every
not a
90
statistic.
every 90 seconds, someone is injured by a drunk driver.
Wow.
hmm Next statistic: more than 5,000 people die a year of underage drunk drivers.
Is this a math?
That's what I
problem?
wrote. That's what I wrote. I don't think I wrote it right.
From not because of
Probably
because
yeah.
of underage drunk drivers or from.
I think from like car crashes with underage drunk drivers.
Got it. Okay.
Patrick and I both come from the town where once you submit something, you can't edit it. It's not possible.
It's locked. It's
we
locked.
We don't have edit buttons.
It's locked. Once you write it, it's locked.
My computer didn't come with that.
Yeah.
It's nothing we can
There's
do.
there's a script writing software called Final Draft. You guys have one called First Draft.
Yeah, First Draft, man.
Yeah,
It's just First Draft.
Puts it all out there.
That's right.
And our final statistic: drunk driving will impact 2 out of 3 people in their lifetime, which means it has affected us. 2 of us.
2 of us.
Yeah.
Has
so, I mean, probably. Actually,
I mean, of your West Virginia friends, probably.
I mean, yeah. Actually, I know a lot of people who drove.
The guy that bought you the apple puckers had to be drunk, right?
Right, probably. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So that's like a very sad.
But they do this powerful thing where they're like, I'm someone's wife, and I'm someone's daughter. I'm someone's mother, and I'm someone's daughter. And that's like to show you how it affects people.
It's like we have a lot of fun here at Lifetime.
Yes.
However,
we got a whole speech.
Wow.
Yeah, they really like laid it down at the end there. So, raising awareness for not a good cause, but raising awareness for a cause that everyone should be aware of. And I feel like everyone is aware of, but maybe not. Maybe the Gen Zers don't know about drunk driving.
Yeah, maybe they don't.
They just gotta make it a TikTok trend, and then we'll all know.
Yeah,
we'll all know about it.
Yeah. So
I found
now is the time.
I found out just yesterday that apparently there's a TikTok trend where kids try to take as much Benadryl as possible.
Yeah, some kid is in like
he died.
He died.
Oh my gosh!
Because apparently there's a fine. You try to hallucinate.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
And I'm like, yeah. But apparently, you also can die.
Yeah,
so
yeah. It's a pill.
Maybe don't do that, kids.
It's not a square mint.
It's not a square mint.
Just take mushrooms like normal people. Okay, microdose.
Or don't take anything.
Don't do drugs.
Patrick,
look. If you're gonna experience,
take mushrooms like us normal people.
Patrick's point is, the chances of you dying way lower. On the shrooms than just dumping Benadryl.
Good save. Guys, don't take too much Benadryl. Hey, Mr. Somebody outside of a gas station and take some mushrooms on your way to West Virginia for the underage drinking party before you go to the jungle juice party. Come on, guys, be normal.
learn how to party, basically, and always get a sober driver. Okay, but like
Yeah.
this is what I'm saying about like Gen Z people. I think they know about Uber. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they
Yes.
there's the world has changed where I feel like teenagers like they might not want to spend $20 on a Uber ride, but their friends would make them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
For
your
sure.
and your parents would gladly flip that bill.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Flip that bill.
Flip it.
Flip that bill.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have to do pour it up or put a cork in it.
Me
So
too.
I guess let's start with Dan or Dan.
Put a cork right in this one. The only thing I hate more than I think hearing about this movie, although you guys did a wonderful job, is the idea that at the end we made it a PSA. I think that Lifetime doing a PSA is rich. And I'm good. I don't ever have to watch this one. I'm fine. It's a no from Dan. Put a cork right on in it. Bran? Or you've not decided yet?
No, I haven't. Patrick, you go.
What?
You go.
Okay, yeah, I'll go. So, here's the deal. Like, this is like an after-school special thing we've seen many times. I don't think this is serving a new generation to understand drunk driving in any better way. So I'm gonna put a cork in it because unnecessary. Let's just like do a TikTok about drunk driving, like Brand said, and I'm really upset. Michelle is Michael Michelle, and I will never get over that. So,
Never forget Pizza John Joey Jarrett.
Yeah. So put a cork in it for me. No, thank you.
Brand's pouring it up.
I think I'll pour it up.
Yeah,
I there was something about this, even though it is literally a 90-minute PSA. There was something about it that I liked, and I don't know what it was. But I don't know. No, I'm putting a cork in it. Putting a cork in it. It's a 90 minute. It's a 90-minute PSA.
It really was. It really was.
Yeah.
And I love PSAs. Okay, like pumpkin spice latte, love it.
No, that's a PSL.
Oh, same letters, right?
No,
well,
Michael Michelle, everybody.
You can't edit
there you go.
anything.
There you go.
Can't edit anything. We did it, everybody. Congratulations. Another Deck the Lifetime Uncorked.
It's good to be back.
Maybe we'll do this more often now that When Calls the Heart's gone.
Yeah.
This
is a fun time.
We've got some space to fill.
And
season.
We could, like compare notes before Brand, so we got the names right at least.
No. Heaven forbid we start doing that now.
No.
That's true. It's too late. It's too late.
We have a real chored Overstreet situation on our hands.
It's canon.
All right. Well, until next time, maybe we're the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.